Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Valerie and I am doing a video today in conjunction with a blog post, so I'm going to have the link down below. This is a continuation of that blog post, and that post is all about exploring how we ask our mind for the answers and how we're so used to doing that in this current time period, and how we haven't really been getting the answers from them, but everybody just kind of keeps perpetuating this idea that that's where we should go. We need to ask our mind, we need to be logical and rational, and those are like the foundations of how we make our decisions, right? And a lot of spiritual communities are saying, okay, but there's more to it. And one indication of that is your emotion. So I think it's rather effective to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling about something. And if you think you have the right answer, but you're not feeling very good about it, it's like, what is the use of that? Probably a lot of us have been in households or in religions that said, like, who cares? If you're doing the right thing, it doesn't have to feel good. Okay, I'm interested in exploring a new avenue, because you know what? I used to be a very sad, very depressed person, and I feel great now. And now that I've now that I do feel so much better, the contrast when I don't feel good is really strong. Before, I was kind of used to feeling crappy all the time, but now it's like, now that I've tuned into a different frequency with my source energy, with my higher self. So when I feel bad, it's like, it hits me really hard. So, I want to get into kind of the evolution of what can happen when you start getting interested in spirituality. So you might get to this point of where you're understanding that you can't just go to your mind for all of the answers anymore. And you understand that you're creating your own reality. You understand that how you think and the thoughts that you're thinking create your reality, okay? So then when we get to this point, a lot of the time, we start thinking that we need to manipulate our thoughts. We need to make our thoughts positive, because if we make our thoughts positive, they're going to align with source. We're going to be high frequency, high vibration, and that's how we're going to stay aligned and have good things happen. So one way a lot of people do this is by affirmations. Teal Scott has talked about affirmations. An interesting thing about them is that if you do not believe your affirmations, what happens is it brings up a lot of negative emotion. So even if you're saying, this is what I think, this is what I believe, I could say, if I really hated myself and I said, I love myself entirely and completely, well, it might be a starting point, but also what it's doing is it's bringing up a lot of negative emotion. And then if you don't know what to do with that emotion, because bringing it up is awesome, is great. If you just keep stuffing it back down, because at this point what you can start thinking is, fuck, I'm supposed to be being positive, and my emotions are coming and screwing it up for me. I'm trying to think positively, and they're coming up and fucking it all up. I need to bottle that shit, I need to go back down there, stuff it back down there, right? Okay, so our emotions can actually be very helpful. They don't always feel like it. They feel really unhelpful a lot of the time. So, I made some notes. But I thought it interesting. I'm a big word nerd, and I wanted to look up the word emotion. And it comes from the Latin root ex plus movere, which movere is to move, and ex is out. So it's basically, emotions mean to move out. Emotions are meant to be expressed, and the issue that comes up is when they're not, when they're stifled, and they go into the body, and they create all of these issues, and they don't go away. You can try to change your thinking so much. This is a a part of my journey. This is why I'm sharing it. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. I've been doing so much work on my brain, thinking, okay, I need to like meditate, I need to still my mind, I need to do this to my mind, I need to manipulate my mind in order to get my positivity in alignment. Whew. Okay, that's exhausting. Just to share a little personal story, recently I was kind of nervous to go to like this 3-day event by myself, even though it was something I really wanted to do, but I didn't know anybody there, and I've just moved to this area. So I went to it. Yay! You know, like that's usually, I mean, that's enough for me to feel good, like to feel like, hooray, you did it. Well, I got there. And the first day, despite the fact that I had just done this kind of challenging thing, you know, and I wanted a lot of support for myself, you know, instead of that, I got some of that, yeah, but it was fleeting because immediately my mind was getting bombarded with all of these really self-hating thoughts about like, okay, well, now that you're here, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to make friends, and then you need to do this, and if you don't do that, then you're being really unsocial, you're being a hermit, and you don't want to do that, and you need to make... It was like, oh my god, my brain was going naughty, and it felt bad. It felt really bad because I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't have any, you know, any affirmations I could pull out of the bag. Just didn't feel true. I just felt really bad. And I got to this point of feeling kind of desperate, like, I need something to relieve this. I need something to be able to express and move these emotions out, because a lot of the time we have all of this stuff, all of this debris between us and Source. And Source is just our higher self. This is just the in-tune us. This is the one that has all perspective and can see how everything we're doing right now is perfectly enlightened, that we are enlightened, we are where we need to be, but it doesn't feel that way when we're in the middle of it. So the thing about emotion is that it's also, okay, so to move out, it's motion. It's moving, right? So just like we like to think of things as being static, nothing is static. Everything is moving. All the atoms and molecules are constantly whirring around. Even in the most still meditative state, everything is moving. And tapping into that state of flow is really important. That your emotions are going to come and they're going to go, and allowing that is a really important thing, okay? So now that I've reached this point, I want to ask you where you are in your journey. You know, are you stuck in that mind place, or are you still just asking your mind for answers? Have you moved on to the emotion stage, but you don't know how to express them? Or have you figured out a way that you really like to you know, move your emotions out and tune into your Source? I want to pose this question, and I would love to get your feedback. I'm going to make another video in the very near future about what I have been doing recently since that desperate point in my life when I realized I needed a different way other than just trying to still my mind, of expressing my emotion and making room, making some beautiful space to relax in with my higher self. So please leave a comment if you have something to say. I would love to hear your feedback. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Namaste to you.